Welcome back to Dudes on Dudes Fighting. I guess not welcome back because this is our first ever episode. My name is Robert
Yeah, we did
John.
record. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead. Interrupt away.
We did record one. Yeah, we did record one last week. You guys don't know who I am because I interrupted on the intro there, but I'll let you finish in a second. We recorded one last week. We had a little bit of technical issues, and we'll get this one out for you this week. Go ahead with the intro.
My name is Robert John, and this is Stu, my co-host.
Yep, I'm Stu, as you already heard.
Yeah. So this is Stu. We tried to have a prediction episode up on Saturday. We decided, at the 11th hour to start this YouTube show right before
Yeah.
UFC 230. But then, post-production, rendering, and uploading to YouTube, it came out slightly after UFC 230, and we thought that was stupid to put up a prediction show when the event was over, so we just took it down. And we're going to start this week. Yeah. Start fresh with UFC 230 breakdown. And then we're going to preview UFC Fight Night, which is on Sunday, November 11th, coming up.
Which is the best fight night that they've had in a really, really long time. So it's going to be an exciting one to go over.
I'm really into that one. We'll get to that in a minute. But
yeah.
UFC 230, Stu, what's your takeaway?
Fucking sick, dude. I mean, I heard some whispers of complaints, because there was a lot of changing of the main event. There was supposed to be the Shevchenko fight, and then there was supposed to, that Diaz fight dropped out. But, I mean, all in all, they really, came together last minute, and, DC stepped up and did his thing, and, but let's get started with our boy. What's his name? Israel Adesanya, aka Stylebender, the last Stylebender, versus Derek Brunson. And what our pick for that one was, we had Israel on that one.
I think he's the future. I want him to just jump the line and get the next title shot.
I was talking about that to my buddy earlier. I was just like, "Fuck it, give him a title shot right now."
Who else is in
went
contention?
on Ariel's podcast this week too.
Yeah. Okay, so
I don't know, man.
Not Weidman. What's the other? Whitaker is a champ, but that division's in chaos. Ever since our boy Michael Bisping, stepped down and gave his title over to George St. Pierre. That's the way I choose to remember it. The division has been just
and we're Canadian.
A shit show. Yeah. Oh yeah. We're Canadian, but we're not French Canadian. It's a big difference.
Yeah. GSP's still a Canadian hero, though.
He is, but he's not Michael Bisping. Come on.
But Bisping's just a world hero.
Bisping's a father of all men. He's got everything in the right place. He's got a great smile, a great laugh. He only needs one eye.
Yeah.
He's a man.
Yeah, that was the only thing. Is the other one was starting to go on him. So he had to call it a day. And from what I've heard, he's been kicking ass on podcasts and doing his thing over at Fox. And I think that he's having a little bit of fun with the Brewskis too.
I feel like a comeback fight is not out of the question for Bisping. I'm not gonna lie.
No,
he's coming back.
If it's the right guy and the right amount of money, his finger's always on the pulse with this shit too, right? It's not like
he hates Luke Rockhold. They've got to go again one more time.
Yeah. Do you hear that beeping?
No, I think that's just in your house. Is that a smoke detector? Maybe. I can't hear it, so I'm just hypothetically what kind of beeping you might be hearing. Microwave?
I just pressed a bunch of buttons. Okay. No, it wasn't a microwave. Wasn't a smoke detector, thank God. So, anyways, a little off track there.
I'm going to go further off track.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going further off track. Yeah. One of the scariest nights in my entire life, and I was in maybe grade 9 or grade 8, I was, a youngster. And the carbon monoxide detector. Yeah, I was just sprouting my first adult hairs. And the carbon monoxide detector was going off in my house in like the middle of the night. And my mom just got up and unplugged it. And she's like, the batteries are out. That's why.
That's a gangster move.
And then I remember like, okay, it's just the batteries. And then as I'm like laying down, I'm like, she unplugged it though. Like carbon monoxide detectors don't run on batteries. And I just remember like falling asleep
lied?
Yeah, she just didn't want to deal with it. And I remember falling asleep that night thinking like, this might be the end of it. Like,
yeah, like I might get too good of a sleep tonight.
Yeah, I'm feeling really drowsy despite my like stress and anxiety right now. So I'm gonna just roll the dice.
Plus you had those pubes coming in, so you're all psyched about that.
Yeah, a lot of my extra energy was going to growth spurts.
Yeah, I'm sure that was all it was going towards, buddy.
Speaking of growth, let's talk about the future of Adesanya.
Oh shit, man! He got performance of the night too, which was awesome.
Yep.
That KO was just sick, and I saw this one coming. I don't know why. I had a lot of faith in Brunson as a fighter, but what I've seen from our boy, the Style Bender, I think he can beat anybody in the division. And the thing is, he doesn't like he's tall, but he doesn't look that big. He's fucking quick, and I don't know. He talks some shit, and like everything that he said, like Mr. McGregor in the start, he's gotten it done.
He's really skinny, and that concerns me at middleweight. But I don't think there's any way he's going down.
Why would he?
I mean, just like frame-wise, like I'm like, oh, maybe he can't handle like Jacare, for example. But
Jacare is going to be a tough fight for him if that one comes up because of Jacare's wrestling and him being a kickboxer. But I mean, Brunson's he can wrestle, and fucking Stylebender couldn't get taken down. So if he keeps up that great defense, then he's going to be able to hold his own against anybody. And when your hands are that quick, maybe you don't get taken down anyways.
And Brunson's a legit wrestler, so it's not just like, oh, he hasn't been tested yet. Like, he's been all the way tested.
And Brunson's, he's fought the who's who of that division. Yeah. He's only lost to the top guys who are pretty much gonna be in a title position soon.
Yeah.
So I mean, that just goes to show where Stylebender is. He's in that conversation. I mean, I think looking at this card too, it was that 185 divisions card. Yeah. And it helped play a lot of shit out because it's gonna be Whitaker versus what's his name? The Mexican kid who can't make 170, but he should.
Yeah, Gastelum.
Yeah. I mean, they're fighting for the title. I'm pretty sure. And then one of these guys on the card is going to get the next shot, whether it's Stylebender and Jacare, or if Jacare and Stylebender fight each other to get through it. I mean, that division, like you said, has kind of fallen apart since that whole shit with GSP and Bisping taking off, and this has put the pieces back together. It wouldn't been nice to see Rockhold back on that card, but it was Jacare who came in last minute to replace him anyways, right? So
I didn't think like Stylebender took any damage in that fight, and Rockhold wasn't really hurt. Like, he had a cut on his shin or something. Like, that's why he dropped out. So I'd like to see that fight, post haste.
That would be a sick fight. It's just I want to see Stylebender fight someone before Rockhold, because I want to see, because I think anybody else, I think Rockhold's the toughest fight for him, and I think that Stylebender can kind of run through anybody else except for the champ, Whitaker, And I mean, those are the two guys that I think that give him the toughest fight, Rockhold and Whitaker. So fucking let him fight one more guy and then fight one of those guys.
Do you think that Romero is going to fight at middleweight anymore, or is he going up to light heavy?
I don't know, man.
Because he's technically lost
I
2 in a row at middleweight, but both of those losses were
yeah,
questionable.
like and
He looked
yeah, and even
fantastic in both.
yeah, and fucking Whitaker is a gangster, man. I think like he didn't get a lot of shine until he became champion.
Yeah.
And like now that he is, going back and looking at all his old fights, him on Tough and everything, it's like he's the real deal, man. So and I think Romero, we leaving him out of the conversation is a bit amateur too, because he beat Rockhold.
He beat
Right?
Rockhold, yeah.
And fuck, imagine Stylebender versus Romero.
I think Romero is just too much of everything for anybody. Like, I'm so surprised he's not a champion. And that just comes to, like, he kind of gets these fights last minute, has a really shitty weight cut, and then comes up just a little bit short.
Yeah. You don't see a lot of build-up with Romero fights for some reason. It's just, it seems like he comes in, like, doesn't make weight, like you said, and then has a good fight. But, I mean, I think that with this last weight cut, they should have given him an extra bit of time, and really he didn't have that much to lose. So going off of that, I think they should give him one more chance at 185. If he doesn't make it, move him up. But like he's such a key piece to that division. So fucking let him run wild.
Yeah.
He pulled dick out in that last one too, or was that the time before?
It might have been the time before. He said some
speaking about pubes earlier.
He said some wonderful weigh-ins. Okay, let's move on to the card that both of us slept on. Carl Roberson and Jack Marsham. We both picked Marsham to win, even though neither of us liked him. But
I'm glad. That was a good fight, though. Too.
It was good. We slept on it. It was a good fight. But going into it, neither of us knew who either of these dudes were, and we did not like the Baby K nickname at all, so we passed on him.
I still don't love the Baby K
hate
nickname,
the Baby K,
but I will remember him in the future.
Yeah. Okay, let's not waste any time on that. Let's move on to Branch. David Branch let me down. I thought he had this, but Jared, how do you say it? Canoer?
I don't know. I don't. Cannonier?
Cannonier. Let's go with Cannonier. He looked friggin' awesome.
He looked amazing. Isn't he like the gorilla or something?
Yeah.
For some reason, the UFC site doesn't have their fucking nicknames on it right now when you're looking back on the card, which is just outrageous because we
base
definitely
most
love
our picks on nicknames. Yeah.
Yeah. Before we go into this one, because we have a bit of a different system of breaking down fights and how we pick them.
Yeah.
And do you want to give our 2 or 3 listeners out there the breakdown of what we look for in a fighter?
Yeah, this is really important for new listeners, which is everybody. Me and Stu are not.
And we'll mention this in every show too.
Yeah. Like we have to we have to remind each other. Neither of us are Dan Hardy. We're not Robin Black. We're not John Anik or Kenny Florian. Like, do not come to us for footwork breakdowns or strategy or anything like that. First thing we look at is the quality of the father. We want a good,
if they're a great dad.
It have to be a good dad. And then we look at nicknames. I'm a big abs man. I like to see if there's an abs situation going on.
I'm not as big on the abs as RJ, but I'll let it fly.
You're an ass man.
Yeah, I'm more of an ass man. That's why I'm such a Romero fan. That guy's got a caboose.
He's got everything you need. He's built like a Ninja Turtle.
Yeah. And he's always wearing that purple.
EOL Donatello.
And he shit his pants too and just didn't care.
He didn't care. He's too much of an athlete, a complete athlete.
Yeah. That guy is a Cuban fucking hunk. And he's like 89 years old.
Yeah, he's full lying about his age too. He's way older than they say he is.
What do they say? What do they say? He's like 40 something?
42 maybe? Like that's fuck that.
Holy
he's like 48.
Shit. Yeah, and like there's been one instance of like didn't he pop for something but then they didn't really there was like a John Jones situation where he got out of it because like you look at Romero and you're like there's something going on there.
There's something going on there. Cuban supplements.
I don't know.
Cuban supplements.
Yeah, some awesome Cuban supplements.
So, yeah, back to how we picked the fights. Both of us passed on Jared here because of the nickname Killer Gorilla. Like, that's a weak friggin' nickname. No nickname David Branch definitely trumps Killer Gorilla.
Yeah, we're big fans of the no nicknames because that's just like you're hard as nails.
Yeah, if you have no nickname and have a great set of kids on you.
Nickname. Yeah, or you're a great future dad.
Future dad, yeah, that's a new category. When you just like see the twinkle in their eye, like they got Christmas morning written all over them.
Yeah, like Jacare loving his wife so much, future dad.
Yeah.
That guy's going to love his kid.
Yeah,
He's going to be bummed if it's a girl. All right, let's talk about this fight.
Let's get to Jacare. Good transition.
Okay, yeah. So the gorilla there, we'll just end that. We had Branch being champion in 2 divisions in world class of fighting, coming in a tough fight versus Luke Rockhold. And then, so we thought that he was going to do a lot better than he did. And, he let us down, especially because RJ had money on the fight. So,
yeah. God damn it, Branch.
Yeah, fucking get a nickname so we can choose shit.
Yeah. I'm blaming Branch for me losing all my money on BetDSI because of his lack of nickname. Yeah, usually that's a go-to. Usually you got Matt Hughes or someone that's got no nickname and they're awesome. But Branch fucked me up.
He should be Baldhead Branch. And actually, that's a dope nickname. We would have got thrown off guard.
What about minor leagues Branch?
Yeah, world class of fucking nothing, buddy. All right, speaking of world class of nothing, let's talk about Chris Weidman and world class of kickassery.
Weidman is such a friggin' doorknob. Like that's how.
Yeah, I hate to say it. Yeah, doorknob is perfect. I hate to say it because, like, he is a great dad. New Yorker, the crowd was behind him. I had him in the fight because I wanted to see the crowd go nuts, him get on the mic in New York and everything. But I also mentioned in our last episode that you guys will never hear that we keep referencing that he is the most overrated fighter, I think, maybe in all of the UFC. And I hope maybe our show never gets big enough that he can hear that to beat me up. Because
I'm going to go one step further, Stu. I'm going to call him the most overrated father in the UFC.
Oh, burn. I'm not going there.
I feel like he's the kind of dad that's like when the roses are in bloom, he's in a great mood. But like if he's had a bad day and the kids are like making too much noise, he's just going to scream from the other room at them.
Yeah,
he's a fair weather father. Fair weather father.
Ooh. Weidman, if you're listening, I don't agree. I think you're a great dad. You did go a bit extra on embedded buying your girl flowers and stuff, but I mean, we're not talking about your husband abilities here. We're talking about fatherhood.
Fatherhood, and
Yeah.
I don't see you being a 24/7 father. I feel like you're kind of like your fighting career. Flash in the pan.
Sometimes
A bit
shows
of a
up.
flash in the pan. Maybe a fluke father.
Sometimes shows up. So something you mentioned in the last episode that we keep referencing that isn't coming out and you guys will never hear, what is that he's with that Sarah Longo camp where you know there's not a lot over there.
No.
And with his, you know, being a champion in the past and everything, would a change of camp, maybe for a fight or something, help him out? I think he did all right in the fight, to be honest with you, until, you know, Susan took his fucking head off. But yeah, I don't know. I'd like to maybe see him go down to one of the bigger camps for his next fight and just see how it goes and train with some big dogs.
Yeah, I have no hate for Sarah Longo as a team. I think
I'm
they
a
got some
huge
great
Sarah fan.
fighters. But and Sarah's a phenomenal father, by the way.
Yeah,
You know,
great father,
great
podcaster. He does that shit with Dana, which is he's always funny.
He's
in there.
Amazing. I love how red he gets when it goes to the corner cam. He's just a little tomato over there. Like, I love Matt Serra. But when you look at someone that's lost like probably like 8 in a row or something now, like I don't think Chris Weidman.
He's lost 4 of his last 5.
Yeah, he hasn't won since like Barack Obama was the president.
Oh man.
And
yeah,
what else can you do? Like, you can't just keep going back to the same old drawing board. Something needs to change, and maybe I think it's time for a camp. Like, go down to AKA or maybe American Top Team. They got some great wrestlers.
Yeah.
Because he does look good. I do think he's overrated. I think he's, you know, top 10 fighter. But for, you know, every interview, he's always going on about he's one fight away from the title. He's 1 win away from getting his belt back. And I just want to give him a little shake and be like, the title's not yours, dude. Like, it hasn't been yours since 2015. Like, move on. Like, Bellator,
and
perhaps?
the way you got the title, like, he fucking... Old Anderson was just dancing around. He's won so many fights. He was playing around. He left his chin hanging, and he got knocked out. And, I mean... You had a rematch, and Anderson... In the rematch, Anderson broke his own leg, and then you started jumping around celebrating like it was a touchdown. Like, you're a friggin' jobber. And then you fought post-TRT Vitor that had, like, saggy tits and no mohawk. Like, that's not Vitor Belfort. Which should be more illegal in fighting than steroids, is Vitor off of steroids.
Yeah.
He should get a pass, man. Just let him have all of them. Get them in there.
Yeah.
Fucking
it's not the same
shoot
guy.
them in the butt.
It's not the same guy. And since then, he's had a bunch of, like, he just calls them, like, flukes or unlucky fights, but at the end of the day,
there was the knee to the head, like, downed opponent thing, but
that was him being a fucking...
ended up changing, too, though, right? Like,
he was playing the system, though. He was so bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, he was pretending to be hurt until they said, okay, we're stopping the fight, and then his eyes widened. He's like, wait, no, I'm fine. No, don't stop it. But, like, 2 seconds before that, they're like, what month is it? He's like, I don't know, January. Like, he's just playing all days. They're like, okay, we'll stop the fight. And he's like, no, I'm fine. And it's like, okay, which one are you? Are you, like, so out of it you don't know what month it is? Or are you aware you're in a fight? But, yeah, he was playing, trying to get more time, and he, you know, got called on it. But Gegard fucking knocked him silly.
Yeah. That being said, and all the shit we've talked about Weidman, and will probably continue to until he really impresses us, I think he did do great in this fight. But I mean, Jacare didn't use any wrestling. It was a fucking war. It was a great fight.
Such a good fight.
And what about the class on Jacare after that KO? he could have pounced and just kept punching him in the face. The ref didn't stop it when he should have, and Jacare didn't want to go in there and put any more hits in.
He knew that he was done. Weidman would not have showed that level of class, that's for sure.
No, there's guys on the moon who knew that fucking Weidman was just completely done. His eyes were back in his head. He was like looking all fucked up and stuff.
He was trying to grab him with like the back of his hand. Like he couldn't even like judge the distance to like Jacare's leg. Like he's just like pawing at nothing. He was completely gone. Yeah. Souza's nothing but class, nothing but a great future dad.
Oh, he's going to be a great future dad. Still going to be a bit disappointed if it's a girl, but he's going to raise that girl to be a badass. But I think one of the things with Jacare, though, is he doesn't get enough credit because of he can't speak English.
Yeah.
And that's I mean, I think he would have had a faster run to the title in the past if more people were aware of him, if he could speak the language. But I mean, he's known as probably the best grappler in all of the UFC, or at least top 3. And he fucking put on a clinic with the hands against Weidman. And so, I mean, hats off to Jacare, and I'm super on board and excited to see whoever he fights next. If that's Stylebender, which I'd love to see that fight too. I think you see that fight going a lot different than the Weidman fight. He definitely tries to put on his wrestling a lot more in that.
And Stylebender will be a legitimate opponent, so that's already a better fight.
Really harping on this fuck Weidman thing.
Fuck Weidman. I'd like to see Souza and Rockhold also. Like, I'm not a Rockhold fan either, but I respect Rockhold like crazy. He's got those kicks.
No, as soon as he steps in that octagon, you're like, okay, this is a great fucking fight.
Yeah.
But he's a brutal future dad. He's like you said to me before, he just stares right through people. You know, he's just thinking about pussy or something.
Getting some trim after the fight.
Yeah, which he's gonna get.
He's yeah.
He's got those baby blues.
Oh, those shoulders are broad enough to hold the whole American top team on him.
Yeah, which he's ditched, but still seems to get in the ring after everybody wins. Like, he's in there whispering to Khabib after Khabib jumps out of the ring ninja style. He's like, yeah, don't do any more stuff. We're teammates, man. Well, what are you doing in fucking Florida being a brutal future dad? Not at AKA.
He jumps in the ring with Khabib wearing like a full Bill Cosby sweater, and read into that what you want. But I'm not going to say anything, but wolf in sheep's clothing type kind of deal going on there. If the shoe fits.
That's a crazy insinuation.
Walks like a duck, talks like a duck.
Wears a sweater like a rapist. All right, so hats off to Jacare. You fucking did your thing, and class act from everything from the knockout to not doing the ref's job for him, and then getting on the mic after, and always waiting his turn, being a good future dad, and love you, buddy.
You know what? Like, I think I want to give
you, Weidman.
Fuck you, Weidman. Cosby wearing motherfucking teammate of Luke Rockhold. But waiting your turn, I also love that. That's a great point to bring up. Everyone's constantly calling for a title shot when they absolutely don't deserve it, because they just think this is a way to cut the line, which it is. But how often does that work and someone becomes like a beloved fighter? Like Conor McGregor's the only one. He's an outlier in the jump and the line. And he still gets a ton of hate. But there's nothing more
Exactly,
aggravating
but he
than
gets more love than anybody
yeah,
else. But Conor McGregor is Conor McGregor. He's not any of these other guys.
yeah. And then that
So,
brings us
I
right to
mean,
this title fight we're at now with Derek Lewis. Literally, 3 weeks ago, won a
woo!
fight and said, "I do not want a title fight. I'm not ready." And then they give
My
him one
balls are hot.
anyway, and everyone loves him. But if
Yeah, I mean,
if
there
we
was
pulled
more people on.
yeah,
Sorry,
I was just gonna say if you pulled
there
the
was more.
clock back and he's calling for a title fight after that terrible win he had last time where he got beat up for 3 rounds and Hail Mary punched at the end, everyone would be
Yeah,
groaning and rolling their eyes hard. But since he doesn't
yeah.
want
If he
one,
didn't,
it's amazing.
yeah, and if he didn't come out there and say how hot his balls were after that interview, this fight doesn't happen. Like everybody was talking about him after. I mean, I've always been a big Derek Lewis fan since him asking for Ronda Rousey's fine ass and all that shit. And he's he is an example, like you said, of a person who um, got the title shot based on personality opposed to maybe ability. When he got Stipe at home fucking begging, doing anything he can. He's like, I will do anything. I want my rematch.
What a
And
great new
fucking
dad, by the way.
DC's like, oh, amazing new dad. I was listening to Ariel's show. He was in New York doing press, had to rush home on Sunday or on Sunday for the christening of his new child.
You love it.
So I mean, yeah, they were dropping water all over that baby and shit, and he was just happier than a kid on Christmas.
If it was Chris Weidman in that situation, he'd just be spilling Bud Light all over the baby.
He'd be spilling Bud Light, being like, "Oh, it's January."
I
When
was
it's
winning
really
that fight.
February.
I was winning that fight,
Yeah.
child, right until the end, and then
Yeah.
I unluckily got knocked out.
Dude, we're gonna get so much hate if anybody listens to this.
Like
Weidman's such a popular guy. We're just
Nowhere
dissing
near,
everything about him.
nowhere near as popular as Derek Lewis, or
No, and
my boy since day one, DC Daniel Cormier.
yeah, let's get into that because you have been the biggest DC supporter since day one when he fucking like after the first Jones fight, after everything,
Yep.
you were always saying DC, he's a great dad. He runs it over at AKA.
He's a captain
the
for a
man.
reason. DC
Yeah,
Dick
it
Rider
took
since
me.
day one.
Yeah, you are the biggest DC dick rider, but fucking respect, man, because like you're the only one saw this double champ shit coming and everything. So, and he was honest about why he fought Derek Lewis too. I saw in an interview where they were like, "Well, don't you think Stipe deserves it?" And he goes, Stipe is a way better wrestler. He's a way better all-around fighter. If I'm going to fight Stipe, I'm not going to do it on 3 weeks' notice.
Yeah.
Like, that's good honesty. Like, he knew that he was going to go in there and fuck up Derek Lewis. And so he saved the card, which, I mean, it was an awesome card, but really, without that fight, it needed it. It needed it. And then he went in there and he didn't lose a second of the fight.
Not even close. Not even close.
I mean, those ankle picks, and I mean, he was
and again in
showing
the episode that no one will ever hear. We can rewind the tape. I might be able to splice in last week's audio. I fully called the ankle pick to ground and pound, but I said it happened in the first round, not the second. But yeah, everyone saw that coming a mile away. I'm not a mystic. But yeah, that James Toney style ankle pick, day one.
You are not always the greatest picker.
I'm the worst picker
by fights, but maybe because of what we've just mentioned and how we
the way I picked them is horrible. Yeah.
But with DC, you always come through. You always know what's gonna happen with DC. It's like you're a great future dad, and he's a great dad. So you
Yeah,
guys gotta
maybe our dicks
share a
align.
mind.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I don't think he's
So
unbeatable. Like DC is so likable because he's an underdog. Even in this fight where he's coming in as the champ, like Derek
he's a
Lewis is
small,
so
he's
much
a
bigger
small
than him.
heavyweight.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, a great fight, which we'll obviously never see, would be DC Cain Velasquez.
Yeah, that will never happen.
Like two guys without nicknames, like
Hmm.
amazing fighters from the same camp, but they're like best buddies, so you won't see it. But honestly, I don't think. I mean, I hope DC gets that fight with what's
With
the guy's
Brock?
name from wrestling?
Yeah, yeah, Brock
With
Lesnar.
Brock, so he gets that payday and he gets out. I mean, obviously, I'd love to see him defend his title against Jones at heavyweight, but I want to see him get that massive payday, beat Brock, finally have everybody who likes fighting behind him, and then he just goes off and does his thing, you know?
I feel like he's going to fight Brock in February. They're going to push that fight
Yeah.
up because two reasons. DC has that hard out of March 2019 on his 40th birthday. So I
Yeah.
think they want to do whatever they can to have the opportunity to sneak Jones in one more time. And Brock Lesnar
Mm-hmm.
just signed a re-up on his WWE Championship contract or whatever. So
Yeah.
he's going to be wrestling in January at the Royal Rumble probably, and then in April at WrestleMania. So I think they'll try and get this fight in between those two to
Yeah.
maximize, media and all that garbage.
So,
Imagine if
yeah,
Brock
and
Lesnar wears the WWE Universal title to the ring and DC
that
double
would
champ.
be
What a
that would
circus.
be that would be more of a circus than Conor McGregor wearing his two belts against Khabib.
When he
Like
lost both of
it's
them.
just, yeah, he like he wears both of them, gets smoked. I mean, I'm a huge Conor fan, but
I love
that's
Connor.
besides the point. It was completely outrageous
That's
that he
I
was
like
carrying
it
those belts
more.
around, and everybody agreed with it. If Brock comes in there with a fucking WWE belt that it just doesn't even make sense, that is just that's what we're looking for here. We
We
want
need
the
that.
nonsense. If
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
a purist that's listening, I mean, you might not listen every week because we like the fucking nonsense. We like dollies through the windows. We like Khabib's karate kick out of the cage. We like all that bullshit. We love Our Balls is Hot by Derek Lewis.
And he got Popeye
But yeah,
chicken for
just
life, yeah? That was part of his build up to this
win
fight.
or lose. Win or
Amazing.
lose, Papa. And you know
It's
what? Great
win-win.
dad move. He goes, I'm feeding my kids now.
Yeah.
He's feeding the whole family. I mean, I don't know how long or how healthy.
I don't think you want the kids to live very long. Feed them Popeyes.
Yeah, but he's got the right mindset. So, closing that out, hats off to your boy DC. You always right with him, and great father, great fucking winner. He took no damage, so I think we see that Brock fight sooner.
And the post fight, I have
mentioned.
to give credit to that post fight celebration again. Just full dad mode, title on each kid, photo of him in the middle. Like, who's the champ? Daddy is. Like, what a show.
Yeah, he's the champ, dad champ. So he's a triple champ.
He's triple champion.
And we fucking love him here at the show.
And I don't think Derek Lewis lost anything in that outing. Like, nobody really gave him a chance. He didn't look very good.
It was short notice for him, too. He just took a beating like a couple of weeks ago.
Not long ago at all. Against I couldn't even tell you who he fought. It was against some jobber. And he lost for 3 rounds until like 10 seconds left. Hail Mary. A one-shot KO.
I love just if we don't know them that well, we just consider them a jobber.
Well, what's worse, being a jobber or being Chris Weidman?
If you're listening to this show, or if you're a host on this show,
I don't know, man.
It's being Chris Weidman, dude.
Chris Weidman's got nothing
being
going
a
for him.
jobber isn't that bad, like compared to what you said about him being a father his whole career. Spilling Bud Light christenings.
Flash in the
Weidman,
pan,
you're
father.
taking some heat.
Flash in the pan.
Yeah,
father.
go to another camp. We'll give you some credit, buddy.
Best friend with Luke, Cosby sweater, Rockhold.
Yeah.
Okay, let's switch over to the fight night coming up. Because this is going to be a
like
show.
I said, this is a fucking straight up legit fight night. I'm surprised they didn't save this card for when ESPN takes over, but I guess they're like, hey Fox, thanks for having us. We'll give you one more good one.
Yeah. Now, for the listeners that don't know us, which is basically everyone, I'm currently in Europe right now. So my UFC website I'm looking at is like the UK version. And it says this is on BT Sport coming up. And as far as I know, the BT Sport contract is ending in 2018. So it's the end of an era.
Does it go over to Sky Sports, or
I think it's going to be some like jobber internet providers picking it up. Like UFC totally dropped the ball on this one. Yeah, I don't know what's going on.
I mean, maybe that deal with fucking ESPN was too gangster. They were just like, who cares about Europe?
I think that's probably what it is. Like, I think maybe ESPN has some type of satellite company in the UK, which is this, whatever the new provider is. I don't know what it's called. But
yeah,
BT has, as far as I've been watching, UFC like 10, 15 years, like regularly. It's been like BT has been the provider, and since I, tend to watch these on Russian streaming websites, I watch the BT feed. So end of an era.
Not
BT
me,
Sports.
man. I pay for all.
I pay for the big ones, but there's a lot of events, man. I'm not dishing out $60 every weekend.
I pay for 2 a year.
Yeah.
And then I go, yo, RJ, can you send me that link? We're such bad fans.
There's too many events, but going to ESPN, which will be sweet, because we'll get to see some like good shows.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And does that'll stay on TSN in Canada?
I have no idea.
Where I'm located?
Where you are.
Okay.
That'll be
Who cares?
Who cares?
I'll probably stream it either way. I'll watch it on my Apple TV, streamed off my iPad from a link that you've sent me. So yeah, let's get into this card because it's fucking sick, and it's free, and so everybody's gonna get to watch it. So we got the Lone Wolf, Michael Trizano versus Violent Bob Ross, Luis Pena.
Both these cats are off of the last season of Ultimate Fighter.
I just realized that looking at the fight. Do you notice on your
my British version?
UFC thing that Pena does not have a picture?
He does not have.
He has a picture in the small thing, but
Yep.
they don't have a picture for him.
They don't have a full body shot.
He's not the only one on this card.
Like we've been saying, like this card is friggin' stacked, and I'm really excited for it. But you wouldn't know that to flick through this website because there's not a lot of photos of the guys fighting and the ladies.
Yeah. So are you going to go for a superfecta on this one this weekend, or are you going to leave the money off the table?
I love putting the money on it. I love doing the money. Yeah. I waste a lot of money because for the viewers at home, I'm a big fan of the 5-fight parlay. You just kind of pick. In this case, there's 6 fights on the main card, so I'll take a fight from each one, and if I get them all right, it pays out like 500 to 1, like it's crazy. And only once has this ever paid off for me, and that was when Rose Namajunas defeated Joanna Jędrzejczyk on the first time, because I'm a hard on
that
Rose.
knockout.
I called that fight,
You're a big fan of the
miles
Buzz cut.
away, and I won like $800 or something crazy. Like, it was awesome. But I just fucking have so much respect for Rose. But since then, I don't bet on every fight or every card anyway. So I'm on the fence of putting money down on this one, but I'm going to pretend that I am. And I like Trizano. Like, I know Violent Bob Ross was a hit on the show personality-wise, but he didn't really fight. He looked good in the Ultimate finale. But I also felt like Trizano has so much potential. Like, both these guys are undefeated. That was the idea of the show, which was all exhibition bouts.
Yeah.
Both of them won on the Ultimate
Still
finale.
Undefeated.
Yeah. But
because the tough fights don't count against your record, I guess.
No, they're exhibition because they don't release the results right away. Like, they're basically like sparring matches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a lot of those are fun. And they're only 2 rounds.
Yeah.
Unless it's a draw. So, yeah, like you said, both undefeated. I'm going to go with Violent Bob Ross on this one because he looks like a maniac. He is a maniac. And I love maniacs. And I think he'd be a good dad, too.
I think he has that whole, like, orphan backstory too. I think that either makes a terrible dad or a great dad. And in this case, I'm agreeing with you. I think Pena is heads and tails above Chris Weidman in the dad department.
Sorry, Chris. All right, so you got the lone wolf on this
I like
one.
Trizano.
I got Violent Bob Ross.
Let's look at.
So we'll try and go quick through these 3 bottom feeders on this card, and then we'll spend some time on the top 3 because those top 3 fights on this card are fucking sick.
Yeah.
So I don't know any of these girls.
No.
Kiefer.
Hannah Kiefer and Maycee Barber. Hannah Kiefer doesn't even say where she's from. Like,
or have a picture.
It doesn't say where she's from, so I'm gonna have to pick her.
I'm with you, man.
Yeah, the pro wrestling fan in me is going with this chick from Parts Unknown with the blacked out face.
Yeah.
Like, it could be the Undertaker's daughter for all I know.
Mm-hmm. The other girl's 4-0. I think she must be coming off of the Ultimate Fighter as well, just based on her outfit and her picture, because and her nickname being The Future. I don't see it.
I don't see it. Sorry, Barber.
Let's both go with Kiefers here.
We like Kiefer, the mystery opponent. And then
we got
Beneil Dariush and Thiago Moises.
Yeah. Again, don't know much. I've actually heard a lot of whispers about Dariush. I think he's been around for a bit. Might have just dropped the ball on that one. Going by the fact that our boy Moises or whatever, he does not have a picture or a nickname. Neither of them have nicknames.
Yeah,
I guess?
Neither have nicknames. But Dariush has a photo. And the other guy's Iranian. Like, that's a hard upbringing.
Dariush is Iranian, and if you're going by abs, according to this picture,
in this photo, I have no choice to go. I have to go with Dariush.
I'm with the douche too. I mean Dariush.
Let's go with the douche. Okay,
the douche. Denali, the douche, Dariush.
We got
just everything.
This is a big fight right now.
Pennington.
Raquel Pennington,
a huge fight.
Versus former champion Germaine de Randamie. Her first fight back since sticking her tail between her legs and abandoning the title.
Yeah, she was like 145. Thanks for the title. I'm gonna disappear for a year.
Yeah,
nobody's gonna hear from me. And when she fought Holly Holm, like, she fought dirty in that fight. Like, she was throwing shit after the buzzer. I fucking am
multiple post buzzer
not a big fan of her at all. I think it's hilarious that what was it? And in the interview, she was all like great and happy and everything about the title. And then as soon as Cyborg's name came up, her hand started hurting. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people have mentioned this, but we got to mention that too. It was just like, Chris, what about Chris Cyborg? Oh, my hand is killing me. I don't know. I'll be back in a year in a different
Yeah.
weight division.
Maybe one too many
And
punches after the bell and I hurt my hand.
yeah, so she's coming off of a life loss. Raquel Pennington's coming off of a huge loss in the title fight versus Amanda Nunes, where she just got absolutely ragdolled.
Yeah.
Which sucks because I'm a Pennington fan. I remember I think she was on the Ultimate Fighter as well, and yeah, I'm a fan of her. And she went away for a while. She took some time off.
Yep.
In this one, my heart is with Raquel
Yep.
Pennington, but I think Germaine, the Iron Lady, Randamie is just. I think she's too good for her.
I'm with you. I like I don't like Germaine as a person, as everything else.
Mm-hmm.
The nickname sucks. Not a lot of tones in those abs. But I do love the post fight or the post round fight. You know, that bullshit dirt fighting. I love it. I have to admit. If she
Yeah,
throws some like late punches in this upcoming weekend's fight, I'm going to be pretty stoked.
I won't be as bummed because it's like I'm not as big of a Raquel Pennington fan as I am as big of a fan of Holly Holm.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, in this case, I'm down with it. But I want them both to just keep fighting through buzzers and fucking maybe one of them goes WWE, grabs their stool, goes over there. Anything goes in this one, in my opinion.
I feel like
Fuck it.
Germaine is the type of lady to like give you a call and be like, "I'm on my way over. Do you want me to bring you a coffee?" And you're like, "Yeah, sure." And then when she shows up, she like puts her hand out for like $2. Like,
Oh no! You know what? I just based on that photo on the UFC website, the face she is making is
ugh,
what she gives you when she asks for that two
yeah, for
bucks,
that two
dude.
bucks, yeah. Just like I brought
All
it.
right,
Okay,
all
so
right.
we
We're
both
bringing a
like
lot of hate tonight,
that's
but
that's the way
I'm
we
okay with
that's
it.
why we love UFC. And this fight
Yeah.
especially, oh my God, I'm excited. Donald Cowboy Cerrone versus Platinum
Oh
Mike
my god.
Perry.
Woo! I'm such a big
Fireworks.
fan of both of them. I'm
Fireworks.
such a big fan of both of them. So background here, Donald Cerrone's been at the Jackson Wing camp forever.
Hmm.
Mike Perry comes into the Jackson Wing camp. Donald Cerrone goes, "Hey, you mind if we send Mike Perry out of the gym for this one? I've been here forever. Let me prepare in the gym for this fight." Winklejohn goes, Nah, you don't pay me shit. Mike Perry's here. You're out.
Yep.
Donald Cerrone gets wasted drunk on Rogan's show and just spills all the beans.
Yeah, he does.
And so this is Donald Cerrone versus Jackson Winklejohn and Mike Perry, because Mike Perry is a fucking badass,
Yeah.
and Donald Cerrone's just so crazy. It's surprising here that Mike Perry doesn't have a ranking. I mean, he's been around for a long time. You'd think he'd have something.
He's not too consistent though. He's up and down. He's always
No.
exciting though. But live by the sword, die
Yeah.
by the sword.
Yeah, I think I heard him on Ariel's show when he first came out, and I instantly liked him.
Yeah,
I
he
was
is a
like, this guy
moron.
is
I love him.
absolutely nuts. He's got to be from Florida.
Yeah, he's
He's
for
just
sure from Florida.
So in this fight, I hate choosing this one because I'm such big fans of both of them, but I think Cerrone pulls it off because he's the big. He seems to do well when he's the bigger guy.
Okay.
I've noticed that since he's moved up to 170.
Yeah.
When he's in the fights that he's lost at 170, he's just not as big and as thick and as tough as those. Or maybe never say Donald Cerrone isn't as tough as somebody, but I mean, putting him against a Darren Till or something like that was crazy. But I think Donald Cerrone gets it done at home, shoves it in Winklejohn's face, but he wins like a class act and drinks fucking a Budweiser after, and then I don't know, jumps out of a plane a day later with
hits
a broken skull.
I think nickname-wise, Cowboy and Platinum are both fantastic. So my pick is coming down to the ab situation, and in this photo, Cerrone's looking a little doughy. I think we're past the prime. This is the Cowboys' last dance, I think.
44th fight.
It's crazy. He's a veteran. I remember him in WEC days, like years ago.
Yeah.
So I think his best years are behind him, though, and the abs show that to me right now.
I gotta disagree.
Mike Perry's got that male stripper look. That guy's in shape.
He does. Did you see his whole, I don't know why this hasn't been more publicized, but he dressed up as a Native American and was jumping around the ring talking shit about Cowboy. He had feathers in his hat and everything. He's just nobody. I haven't seen one person online talk about it or call it racist or anything, but it was absolutely fucking crazy. So I mean, it's so funny, dude. You got to check it out.
I need to. So I like him so much more now, just on that idea.
Imagine he changes his name for this fight to Mike the Indian Perry.
If he comes to the ring in a friggin' headdress and a tomahawk, I'm going to lose it.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. Or the weigh-in. Cowboy always wears this cowboy hat. Oh, my God. Fucking can't get more gimmicky than that. But, yeah, I mean... Cowboy's taken a big step back after the Darren Till fight and been fighting lower level guys. I think if Cerrone loses this fight, you see him take an attempt to go back down to 155 and fight some smaller guys. I think a lot of people were big on him moving up to 170 because he did so well in his first two fights. Yep. But I always thought he was more of a 155er. Even though he's tall,
Well, just look at this photo of him. He doesn't look like he's in shape. This is like a heavyweight bod, but he's only like 5'11". Like he's not a heavyweight size, but
he used to have a good set of hair on him too.
Yeah,
it's just balding. But
he's got a Frank Mir vibe. He's a new dad. I gotta love that. I bet he's a fun fucking dad too.
Yeah, he's got ATVs and everything. Yeah. So, I mean...
He probably pulls the kid in a wagon behind his ATV just off jumps and shit. Reckless father.
But knows he's going to be safe somehow.
Oh, yeah. In no way is that a disrespectful comment. I think he's a fun as fuck kind of dad. I remember being pulled behind a GT on a snowmobile when I was a kid. I had a fun dad.
Dude, my dad used to let me sit on his lap and drive the car when I was 5.
Fucking sick.
My dad didn't get his license until I was 5. So we were pretty much on the same page. So yeah, that's going to be a great one. But just one stat to look out here. 92% KO TKO for Mike Berry.
Yeah.
Which just means if he wins the fight, he gets the job fucking done.
Yeah.
8% decision. Not going there often.
Yeah, that's not
good. One more thing about Weidman, not to harp on that, but that's kind of been the theme of the show. He doesn't have that many fights. Like, I
No.
feel like when he got the title fight, he got fast tracked to get there, and then he's overrated. Stinks. Screw him.
He's he's a journeyman like gatekeeper guy. Like I'd rank him at 6 or 7 in the world, but just the way he's
Yeah,
constantly talking about his title just does nothing but spin me the wrong way.
yeah, he's one of those guys who won it once and he just holds on to that forever. Like
Yeah.
he just loved having that strap so much, and like he's not focused on the job at hand. He's focused on what he believes he deserves. All right, we're getting way too into why we're going back on that. Let's go to this fucking sick main event.
Main event. Chan Sung Jung, the Korean zombie, versus El
Amazing
Pantera,
nickname.
Yair Rodríguez. Whew. Is this
All
Chan
right.
Sung Jung's big return, or did I miss one?
This is both of their big returns, actually. Actually, no, I think Korean Zombie won one after that barn burner versus Cub Swanson. He
Okay.
won another fight after Cub Swanson beat him in the fight of the year that year, where
Yeah.
they were both like Cub Swanson was the SoCal zombie and the Korean zombie was the Korean zombie, because
Yeah.
they were both just like taking head punches and kicks, and it was just I didn't go to the ground once. I don't think. It was absolutely fucking insane. I'm actually a bit surprised this is the main card, just with but Cerrone and Perry are coming off of I guess losses, but I mean, no, not that it doesn't deserve to be the main card. It's just Cerrone's such a big name, and Perry's so crazy that
Yeah.
I
But
thought,
like you were
and it
saying,
being in Denver.
Perry's not ranked and Cerrone's on the skids versus these
Yeah,
two guys are the future of the division. Even though Korean Zombie's been around for a while, he had that 4 year layoff for his
yeah,
military time in South Korea. You have to do, you know,
yeah,
required military
which
service. So he
sucks.
took a big gap from 2013 to 17. And then
But you got
he fought once in
uh,
2017, and now this is his first fight in 18. So we haven't seen much of him
yeah,
lately, but I'm a
no,
fan. I met him years ago in like 2000 and like
really.
yeah, we're friends on Facebook, me and fucking Korean Zombie, for real.
That's so sick. The
It's
most
so
famous
sick.
person I'm friends with on Facebook is Greg Zahn, and I hate that guy. He, he's, he's a former back catcher for the Blue Jays, and he just posts pictures with like chicks and bras, and like he's just like he's oh man, he just tries to be the Don Cherry of fucking the MLB, but he's just like it's just not authentic at all. But I happened to win a
Yeah.
draw where I won a signed baseball for him, and he kept trying to add me on Facebook, and I was like, "What's going on here? Why is Greg Zahn trying to add me on Facebook?" And then like back in the day, like your messages from non-friends went to another thing, so
Right.
I
The other.
like didn't care enough about this draw to look into whether I won or not. And he'd been messaging me for weeks to send me this baseball, and then I finally looked at the message, and he like, "Congratulations, you won." I replied with my address, and that was it. I don't know where the ball is, but I let my nephew throw it in the backyard.
That's hilarious.
And yeah, years coming off that loss against Frankie Edgar, where he absolutely got smoked. He pulled out. He had that like contract dispute, and then he pulled out of that fight with Zabit, where he was trying to dodge Zabit that whole time. He didn't want to fight him. Didn't want to fight him. Finally, UFC was like, "All right, we're dropping you if you don't fight Zabit." And then he drops out of the fight last minute. Like I
Yeah.
think he was. I think Zabit is such a handful, and Yair knew that. And he's been jumping around to camps. I saw him at Top Team.
Yeah.
He was training at the ranch with Cerrone for a while, I think, too. Yeah, he's been a bit all over the map.
I think he
But
suffers from
he's
being
fucking
so
awesome.
good, though. I think that's the problem, that
Yeah,
the UFC's in this place where they're trying to build a world roster. Like Conor McGregor put Ireland on the map, so they're constantly looking for like the face of a country. And this dude comes out of Mexico, looks fucking sick. So it's like all this hype behind him right away.
Old ass BJ Penn, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
But was he was on the Ultimate Fighter before that, I think?
Okay, so you might be right. The first time I paid attention to him was when he beat the shit out of BJ Penn, and it broke all of our hearts. But all right, who you got in this one?
I got to go with Korean Zombie, just due to nickname, abs, and the fact that we're friends on Facebook.
I'm gonna go with Korean Zombie for all the same reasons, and I don't like that. I feel like Yair was running away from Zabit, and I was really excited for that fight. Like they both have such crazy styles that it would have been such an amazing fight, and this should be one. I'm gonna pick absolute two guys with busted up face, busted up ribs, busted up everything, indecision going to the Zombie, but close fight.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I think it's a decision. I don't see him finishing, but yeah. Nothing but agreeing with you on every. The only thing we disagree on was Cerrone and Perry.
Yeah. Oh, and Bob Ross.
And the first one, yeah.
Trizano. Yeah, but that one, whatever.
Yeah, that one's a coin toss.
One thing I want to mention wasn't Joseph Benavidez supposed to fight? What's that dude with glasses who got the shit in his eye when Conor McGregor accidentally threw that dolly through the window?
Accidentally threw the dolly. The dude with glasses, Ray Borg?
Ray Borg and Joseph Benavidez were supposed to fight on this card, I thought, which would be an amazing fight for that division.
I saw something about Ray Borg wasn't cleared or something. But I'm also going to, you know me, Stu, I'm a big fan of speculation. And with this whole USADA is not releasing failures until they go through the proper channels. Whenever a fight falls out like this, like my flags all just go up.
Yeah, and
this new USADA policy is more harm than good, in my opinion. Because every time a fight gets pulled, it's right away like probably Benavidez is on them Mexican supplements.
Oh, I was thinking the other way because I saw yesterday Benavidez post that he would be fighting on the card in Denver.
Well, then there we go. Back to Borg then on the nerd supplements.
I've seen Borg. He's backed out of a lot of fights too. He's back. He's missed weight. He's backed out of fights. He's had weird shit before fights come up. But I feel bad for him because his kid's sick.
Yeah, but not a good example as a dad to be constantly pulling out of fights.
No, man.
Especially when your kid is sick. Kid needs a role model, Ray.
Yeah, fuck, man. So dark. Let's go back to ripping on Weidman. Yeah, I mean, I would have loved to see that fight on this card because I'm a huge Joseph Benavidez fan, so I would have liked him to take that one against Ray Borg and get a rematch against Sergio Pettis. Yeah. And then because that was a weird split decision. So and Benavidez
has just been one of those guys that's been a name for so long and just hasn't got the check mark at the end. Like he's had more than one title opportunity, I feel like, against Aldo. But
against you mean Demetrius, right?
I thought he fought Aldo as well, no?
I don't know. Yeah, maybe was he up? But that would be 125 to 145.
I don't know. Let's
maybe I don't know. He's a little guy.
He is.
Here's my fans on him. Definitely great future dad because the mom would be Megan O'Leary and everybody loves a little Megan O'Leary in their life. He does the Dapper Scrappers where he takes pictures of people's outfits and posts them on Instagram, which I love because I'm a fan of fighters' outfits. And he does cool shit with his shoes. He paints them sometimes, even if they're expensive. And he's one of those little guys that I like. He's in that group with like Chad Mendez and TJ Dillashaw and stuff, and I don't know, those guys are cool guys.
Yeah,
So
I have to correct myself. You're right. He didn't fight Aldo. He fought Dominic Cruz. That's what I was thinking of.
Oh, and that's a tough fight for anybody.
He fought Demetrius Johnson twice and Cruz once.
But he lost in split decision in the first one to Demetrius, and then just got fucked up in the second one, I think.
I feel like every loss of his has been... Oh, no. He's lost a few knockouts. But most of his losses are split decisions. Like, he leaves it in the judge's hands.
He takes it to the end.
Yeah.
Well, anyways, we should quit talking about that because it's not on the card.
Not even in the foreseeable future.
Yeah, hopefully it pops up at some time. So we're going with the Korean Zombie on this one, but just gonna be a good fight.
It's gonna be a good one, yeah. Okay, let's wrap this up. We'll be back next week. We'll break down our picks, win or loss, draw. It'll be a shame, and we probably won't talk about Weidman or Rockhold much next week.
No, we'll leave them off the hook a little bit next week, especially Weidman. We can tear, I don't know, we went just the Cosby shit alone with Rockhold is pretty dark. So, Yeah, so next week we'll go into a little bit of detail about what we got going on with RJ is a gypsy traveler. I'm here in Canada being a normal person. RJ hangs out at the skate park with a 10-year-old boy who's his best friend. I do normal shit here in Canada.
Not skateboard. I'm going to go hang out with that kid tomorrow when he gets off school.
He sounds dope. And listen to RJ's other podcasts, Pretty Much Experts. It's the latest episode, the closest to Halloween, is one of the funniest shit I've ever listened to. Highlights, he talks about pooping in a box. There's a weird run-in with a dad coming into the bar asking who tried to get his son to suck the dick, and it's definitely not something you want your parents to hear.
My mom loves the show. My mom loves it.
She listens to it?
She does. It's her only contact with me in my gypsy lifestyle.
And I want to give a shout out to an app that I'm working on. It's in development, but it's released. It's called Tag In. It's an app where you can go connect with people to play recreational sports. If you have a league, you can upload your league on there. You can manage it. You can live stream your games, upload pictures. Pretty much anything to do with recreational sports or men's league or anything, it's on there. We started our first league in dodgeball. We have some tournaments coming up, so keep a lookout for that, and we'll get more into that, and we'll have the creator of the app, Vince, who's my business partner on that, eventually on the podcast to tell us a little bit more about it once we find our footing a little bit more and not just rip on Chris Weidman for a fucking hour.
Two things. We should have started with a tag and plug at the top of the hour. And for sure, let's have Vince record something maybe a little bit more less off the cuff. Because it's a cool idea. It's like Tinder for dudes to fucking play some pickup basketball or whatever.
And ladies. And don't forget about transgender.
No
you guys
Cosby sweaters. No Cosby sweaters.
No, that's the only rule that happens. I hope it doesn't piss. I'm bringing up Cosby and the app in the same sentence. All right.
Tag in sports. Way cooler than Luke Rockhold.
And his sweater. And Bill Cosby.
See you next week.
You want to take us out here?
Yeah, we're dudes on dudes fighting. RJ, this is Stu, and we'll see you next week.
All right, love all 8 of you. See you next week. Bye.